First things first, man. As always, we always talk about the SPY. We always talk about the S&P 500. I'll break it down real quick. If you're new, right? S&P 500. We look at this because this is the top 500 companies on the market, right? It's all in one index, so this gives us the overall gauge of how the market is looking. For the past, let me go back to. This is a daily time frame for the people on the charts. That means every single candle represents a day, right? Oh, it would only brighten it on the computer.
Okay.
But that helps. But so Friday, Monday. In the Discord, every Sunday in the Discord for the past few weeks, I've been putting the scenarios that could be happening for the week, right? And there was a scenario, right, for this week based off of Friday, and I was saying, let me put that up there. I was saying that we could break above that level of 758, 760 almost, which is where we were rejecting off of for the last couple of days, Thursday, Friday, right? And I was saying we can get up there, break above it, hold above it, and even go a little higher, right? We ended up holding above it for the day of Tuesday, yesterday, Monday, Tuesday, we ended up holding above that level, right? And now we're back into that range, and we kind of rejected off of that support level again of 754, right? We went a little bit lower today and bounced off of 753, right? But market is still in that range, is going sideways now. For the last few weeks, for the last few days, right? A few weeks for sure, actually. We've been going up, moving up in the uptrend. Now we're stagnant. We don't tell you guys to buy at the high. If your dollar cost averaging, meaning you're buying whenever, however, stay consistent with that. I'll suggest that for sure, right? Because that's what I'm doing. But when it comes down to somebody who's just looking to get in the market now, don't get to buying at the highs, right? We emphasize buying the dip and buying at the lows so you can benefit right here, right? But what you want to do is wait for another pullback for another percentage, whether that's 5%, right? 5% makes us go to $711. What, maybe we get to 6, maybe 10%. If we get that, that's all the way at 670. But between that 5 and 9%, look for one of those pullbacks and then start, averaging down into the stock market, but emphasizing the fact that you don't want to buy at these highs, man, all-time highs, and that's where the stock market is at, right? Before I touch on and move on to any other things, what you got to say about that, man?
Man, you said a couple of days. We've been moving for like about 2 months, but it looked like since April, it's been nothing but an uptrend. When we had hit that low, nothing but growth, man. And you can see it all over, not just SPY, but throughout all the indices. You know what I'm saying? And we got oil doing moves. You know what I'm saying? Commodities. All of these things play a major factor in the SPY, man.
For real, man. And we want to emphasize not being afraid to get into the stock market, really understanding what it is, right? The reason why these companies are going up, the reason why the SPY is going up, even though everything around us in the economy is going crazy, is because these companies are still making money. It's very, very important to understand the companies that control us, right? We talk about it time and time again: Meta, Amazon, Apple, Nvidia, Google. I mean, we want you guys to get comfortable knowing that you guys can invest into these companies. From that point on, you get to look at all the other different companies, right, and get to see in the world for a whole different thing than what it is, right? But once you understand what goes on into the stock market, and you understand if these companies are still making money and these are the things that really run America, everything else is going to be noise, right? So we're here every Wednesday just to help you get in tune with the stock market, feel more comfortable understanding the language, feel more comfortable seeing these charts, feel more comfortable looking at crypto, feel more comfortable looking at everything, because this is what matters, and they don't want you guys to understand this. They don't want us to understand it. They don't want you to realize it's all there. They make money. We make money based off you guys being fearful and not knowing how this works, right? And once you understand what these big players is doing, man, you get to realize you can still play the same game. Because it's all just a mindset at the end of the day, man. It's all just a mindset.
As well as risk management, man. They know what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're looking at the same charts, though. You know what I'm saying? They're maybe the way that they take those entries or whatever, the way that they play with their money is different. But the game is played the same way. There's always, it's like a split screen type of thing. It's always buyers and sellers, you know what I'm saying? And most of the time they're in the same room.
Yeah.
So with that being said, just taking advantage of the opportunity, because I will say that it's a bit uncomfortable stepping into something that you're not used to. But when something like the stock market has the impact it does on everyone's lives, it's kind of like a must, you know what I'm saying? Like you have to have, you can't wear shoes with no socks, you know what I'm saying? You get sweaty feet. So you gotta get in that bag, man. This is very crucial for you to understand and get down the fundamentals behind the way money moves. It's very important, because you will get left behind.
You will get left behind. You will get left behind, because this is not something that something that we should just want to know. This is something that we should really need to know. This is something that should have been taught to us in school when they 100%. Give us a curriculum, but it's not, right? All the stuff that should have been taught to us in school that wasn't, it was all by design, right?
Even economics classes in college, it's math. It's not necessarily charts.
It's not necessarily charts. I failed. I had to retake Algebra 1 in high school, bro. I did not do well in math growing up. I remember one time I went to school one day. I studied hard for this math test in middle school. I failed the math test.
Damn.
I came back and told my mom I failed the math test. Yeah. I remember 14 out of 28. Yeah. Saying that to say, I didn't do well with math in school. But that had nothing to do when I became a grown man and said, hey, it's time to understand how this money moves so I can become the most efficient that I can in life. The same way, grown woman, grown man, you got to understand how to take care of your body, how to take care of your money, how to grow your body, how to grow your money, how to grow your mindset. All that stuff matters, because that's what matters to build our life. I like that you touched on risk management too, man. You know, I think I want us to talk about the stock market is not gambling. Even the big players don't even look at it as gambling.
Because,
right?
yeah.
So this go ahead.